Queensland state government will plunge its budget into deficit as it plans to spend $11.2 billion on a range of cost of living measures as Premier Stephen Miles and Treasurer Cameron Dick struggle to hang on to power. Now, Queensland correspondent Harry Clark is covering the budget. He joins me now. Harry, just what's happened here with the state's finances?
G'day, Ross. Yeah, as you said, it's a cost of living budget, much like the federal government delivered last month. The Premier Stephen Miles and Treasurer Cameron Dick delivered their first budget, Miles's first budget as Premier, and it could well be his last, going by what the polls are indicating, a potential landslide at the October election. It's a costly cost of living budget. They've been up and down the state for weeks now in pre-budget announcements such as $1,000 energy rebates. They've announced 50-cent fares for every public transport fare taken across the state for the next 12 months, 20% discounts on car registration for the next 12 months. They've also announced $200 vouchers to help families cover the cost of kids' sport. And just over the weekend, they announced that the threshold for concessions for stamp duty for first home buyers will increase from the long-standing $500,000 up to $800,000. Of course, there's cynicism that these measures are these measures are simply aimed at buying voters ahead of the election. But the Treasurer Cameron Dick said, no, they are only temporary, but it's a means by which a buffer ahead of inflation rates coming down, anticipated to be in the next 12 months or so.
All economic forecasters and economists suggest that interest rates will start unwinding and reduce, that the RBA will cut interest rates later this year and in 2025. I want them to cut them now. I've called on the RBA to cut interest rates now, and this budget delivers a downward pressure on inflation in Queensland.
Now, as you said, Ross, the blowouts in the total state debt has been glaring, as was revealed today. The total debt up at 2027 is going to be some $170 billion. Now, 10 years ago, the Labor government inherited a $75 billion deficit in 2012. That's when Campbell-Newman government lost office. This year, the debt has climbed to $108 billion, and then the forecast for 2027 is $170 billion. That's despite huge windfalls the government's been receiving from those controversial progressive coal royalty taxes, of which the government's received some $28 billion since that began in 2022. We'll, of course, see the opposition's budget reply speech tomorrow evening.